Kyle Shanahan versus Mike McDaniel. So the big story this weekend was the Dolphins. They put 70 on freaking Sean Payton, and everyone's watching this offense. You're watching it. I'm watching it, thinking this is so easy for everything they did, every run play, every pass play. And it's funny, like they have this little feature. Everyone's talking about it. The fast motion to the outside right before the snap. And Dolphins do it really well. They have guys sprinting as fast as they can doing that stuff. They've been doing it since week 1. All of a sudden, Kyle, since week 2, has been doing it. All the other coaches have tried to do it too. And it's like everyone's copying Mike McDaniel.
And in fact, Iggy, we watched JT O'Sullivan, you and I, over the weekend, and he showed where Kyle is stealing from Mike McDaniel. Now, it's not plagiarism. Everybody steals from everybody. So we're not putting Kyle down, but we're pointing out he's stealing from the guy who used to be his subordinate. I'm sure Mike McDaniel steals from him too, but you got to be pretty good if Kyle Shanahan is borrowing. Let's use the word borrowing from you.
Absolutely, because it used to be that Kyle was the one that everyone was borrowing from with all those shifts and motions, but it seems like he was working with Mike McDaniel. They worked together for like 15 years. That's a very long time. They finally break up, go their separate ways, and I think everyone's wondering, like, is McDaniel better? Like, nothing against Kyle. He's doing great. He's doing great. He scored 30 points in all 3 games. This dude just put up 70. Like, that's a statement. That's a statement like, if we stay healthy, we might be the best team in the league. I don't know if the Niners have made that statement yet.
Well, that's a good point you're bringing up. Clearly, McDaniel made a statement game to the world. Uh-huh. The Niners have won
it's not
3.
It's not that they're great. Like, I'm the next Bill Walsh. That's the kind of statement he made. Keep going.
Yes. And Kyle has won 3 games, and that's really impressive. But he hasn't had a statement game like that.
No.
He didn't against Pittsburgh.
This is his 7th year coaching this team. This is his 7th year coaching this team. McDaniel's in year 2. And it's like, okay, this guy's on the fast track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in fairness to Kyle, he's a Kyle protege. Kyle has great taste in assistant coaches. He does. He has the highest standards. He has higher standards for his assistant coaches than he does for the right side of the offensive line.
So true. What's interesting about the Niners and Dolphins is they are similar. I mean, McDaniel was with Kyle for so long, and they both have quarterbacks who are a little bit smaller, who have gotten seriously injured. Like Tua was that was so scary last year with those concussions. Purdy like mangled his arm. And so, they're doing great. But still with the Dolphins, you're thinking, okay, but can you get Tua through 20 games? Can you do it? And the same with Kyle. Can you get Purdy through 20 games? Because I know your system. Your offensive line isn't that great. You will call play action passes where running backs and tight ends are blocking edge rushers who are great. You take some risks, and it works out most of the time. But can you get your quarterback through 20 games? Because if you can't, it doesn't matter. Nothing matters. That's the question with those two.
I got a quiz for you.
Yeah.
Do a compare and contrast between Purdy and Tua.
Purdy plays with much more confidence.
I agree.
You said he was fearless. I don't get that sense with Tua. Tua's had so many injuries. He got seriously injured in college. He got seriously injured last year. When I saw him against the Niners last year, he was missing a couple offensive linemen. That defense is ferocious. He looked scared. I've never seen Brock Purdy scared. Okay, so that's one big difference. Tua throws a really nice deep ball for a guy who doesn't have the strongest arm. Like, he can hit Tyreek Hill down the field and not overthrow him, and he throws with loft and touch. I haven't seen that from Brock yet. So I feel like Tua's a little less physically limited, even though they're both smaller quarterbacks. They're both mobile enough. So I don't know. Who's better in your eyes?
I don't cover Tua. He seems to sling the ball, and Brock gets it out faster. He does. I have more confidence in Brock than I do in Tua, but I can't defend it. I can't defend the feeling.
I'm guessing if Brock were on the Dolphins, Tua would still be their starter. And I'm guessing because he has the ability to get the ball to Tyreek Hill down the field. I think if Tua were on the Niners, Brock would still be the starter.
Interesting.
I think he
Very
would.
interesting.
So
I agree.
last thing, what do you think Bill Walsh would make of Mike McDaniel?
Oh, I think he'd be fascinated. Now, I have to temper that a little bit. Bill was extremely jealous of other good coaches. Okay? I told you, he always would say about this one, and he's not cutting edge. I used to hear that all the time. So he would have probably not said nice things about McDaniel if they were competing.
Mm-hmm.
But after Bill retired, I think he would have been able to come out and say that this kid is absolutely fascinating. You know, it's like discovering Keats or Shakespeare in old age. Like, wow, this guy can really do this?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's really cool. I feel like a lot of times, maybe Bill was, a lot of times in football, they hire a coach who like looks like a tough guy, looks like he played. And you have to have a certain look and talk a certain way. And that's not Mike McDaniel at all. Like he's a nerd and he looks like a nerd. And I think it's cool that he can have so much success and maybe open the doors for other people that look like him.
For the nerds of the world, like us.
The nerds of the world. I agree. All right, let's take some more super chats. Was Seifert fired or did he quit the Niners?
Fired.
Jeremy Price. Sorry to get off topic, but Papa Cohn, are you covering the Warriors this year? Man,
No, I'm
been
retired. The only sport I really talk about is the Niners. I watch very little other sports. I've had enough of it. But Iggy is doing the Niners, and I loved covering that team, and I love being able to help my son and do something with my son.
Yeah. Damian Jasso says, Grant, why was Purdy giving me Jimmy Garoppolo flashbacks on Thursday's game against the Giants? I don't know. You got to tell me about that. Maybe it was the first half. He had some passes drop that could have been picked. Maybe the first half. Probably that. CNDL says, hashtag Traveler or hashtag Tavis. I don't get it. Sorry. Francisco says, can AZ succeed running at Bosa like they ran at Parsons? Thoughts? They ran a lot against the Cowboys, and that is a weakness of ours. I think it's better to run at Nick Bosa than to run away from him. So that's possibly a good thing to do. I think the Chiefs have had a lot of success running at Bosa because Bosa plays every snap like it's a pass. He screams upfield. You can run at him, I think. People are afraid of him. Papa Phil says Dante Fortson and the Ultimate and the Truth Unedited YouTube. Dante Fortson and the Truth Unedited YouTube. Okay, I'll check it out. Tony says, who would you rather have as your starting quarterback, Purdy or Tua? We just talked about it.
Yeah, for the 49ers, Purdy.
Purdy's a lot cheaper. Jeremy Price says, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Will Tua stay healthy? Will we stay healthy? We stay healthy. Will we stay consistent? Yeah, those are the questions. We don't know.